Hey everyone, Jason here, host of the BombCast. Thanks for joining. Saw several of you pop on. Thanks for being here. Drop a comment in. Let us know how you're doing on this wonderful Tuesday morning or afternoon, depending on where you're at in the country. Drop a comment in, drop us a thumbs up, a heart, a like, so that we know that you're on with us. I am excited for this episode 18 of the BombCast. We have Kinny Landrum, sales professional, working in the automotive space, talking to us about his process, his system, how he's got things started. So as you're watching today, be thinking about those questions. That's why we go live week in and week out, so that you can ask specific questions to our guests of how they're using video in their business to win more opportunities, to convert more leads, to grow their repeat and referral business. So it doesn't matter what industry you're in, Kenny's got some incredible information and insight and process and just his own story to share. So before I go on any further, Kenny, go ahead and introduce yourself to everyone.
Hey, Jason, thanks for having me on the BombCast. I do appreciate it. My name's Kinny Landrum. I'm a sales professional out at Toyota of Bowling Green in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Been at the dealership for a little over 13 years, and I use video email in my process to connect with customers and make more opportunities and sell more cars.
So you were, awarded in 2017 the Toyota Bowling Green Sales Professional of the Year. And you were saying, just kind of before we came on, you saw that video was a key element to you kind of attaining kind of that salesperson of the year. What went into that? Like, for you to be salesperson, just give us kind of some scope and understanding, like, not you have to brag on yourself, but how many cars did you sell in 2017?
Well, that's a good question. I don't really remember how many cars I sold, but I was salesperson of the year. Talking a little bit about my process, Jason, what I've done before is, reach out to customers via video, whether they're orphan customers that are customers of the dealership and the salesperson has left the dealership. Reach out to customers for their birthday and say, hey, Kinny Landrum, Toyota Bowling Green, happy birthday to you. Appreciate your business. Little short videos like that. Reach out to customers, thanking them for their business after they've, been with me 3, 6, 12 months, something like that. Reach out to lease customers, hey, their lease may be, pop it up, come and due, like within 12 months or so. And those types of reaching out authentically to customers, they see that and they're like, wow, this guy is reaching out to me on my birthday. I don't have a salesperson at the dealership anymore, and he's reaching out to me, introducing himself, inviting the men to come meet me and offering to do my service appointments and things of that nature. It's really all about being, or has been when I started, about being giving service to the customer and not necessarily, trying to sell them something.
Right. So take me back, we're talking a little about your process. We're going to get deeper into some of those things, but tell me a little bit about your video journey. When did you first start using video in your business?
I think it was in 2016, actually. At least Kephart introduced me to BombBomb Video Email. And I started out with, can I tell you a really quick story?
Yes, please.
It was really awesome, Jason. I sent a happy birthday video to a customer, and they were like, wow, that's pretty cool. That's pretty neat. So the wife of the customer reached out to me about 3 or 4 weeks later after I sent that birthday video and said, hey, my husband says we work with you at Toyota Bowling Green, and there's a vehicle that I'm interested in. Now, this customer, like I said, was an orphan customer that I sent a happy birthday video to, and it was awesome, the opportunity that happy birthday video email created, and I ended up selling them a car. And they ended up sending me a referral, Jason, and I sold them a car. That's when I got hooked on BombBomb Video Email.
But take me, I think for a lot of our people watching and a lot of our audience, sometimes you send out that video and they open it and interact with it, but it took you 3-4 weeks to see a reply or them coming back. what did you continue sending videos in those 3 to 4 weeks, or was it once you had that kind of interaction and you sold a car that you really started to see the momentum and started to do it?
That's when the momentum hit. I was actually on a month-to-month BombBomb, subscription. And then I was like, wow, I've got to do this all the time, So I started, just planting those seeds in customers' minds, prospects' minds. And then I started sending them to people that had bought cars from me and people that called in for like, hey, I'm interested in a vehicle. Can you tell me a little bit more about it? So I would go out, shoot a video of the vehicle, and send it right to them. Sometimes I text it, sometimes I'd email it. Most of the time I've started texting those to the customers.
Right.
I tell you what, nobody's doing that in the industry today. Well, very few people are. It's really catching on now. And customers, they love it.
Right. Because it's building that connection. You're building that relationship. And I imagine some of those initial pieces of where someone first walks into the dealership, it's a little intimidating, right? And they see your face and they've already connected with you. Have you noticed how it kind of breaks the ice and the way that you're connecting with people by sending them videos that you've never met?
Yeah, it does break the ice with them because, Jason, if I can recap of a moment that happened last week, a customer called in, asked about a vehicle, and I sent them the video and they said, hey, I wasn't even going to come in until I got this video. I mean, I called, got the information. I was really interested in another type of vehicle. I just kind of wanted to satisfy my curiosity about the Toyota Highlander, which is what it was. And she just said, I came in because of the video.
What else is there, right?
That's right. She said, I came in because of the video. And, we talked and we didn't end up getting together on numbers. And then guess what? I sent a follow-up video and said, hey, you know what? Appreciate you coming in. Here's a little video of the car that we just looked at. Really, I'd love to earn your business. And you know what happened? They ended up coming back and buying the car.
So tell me, in this process of getting in with video, you've only been doing it for a couple years.
Right.
And, was there any hesitancy for you getting on camera? How did you overcome some of those kind of typical things that we all feel? What was that process like?
Well, let me tell you, I'm a big guy, so getting on camera was not really what I wanted to do, Jason. I was really encouraged by another young lady that had been doing video and things of that nature. She said, Kenny, just be yourself. You're a nice guy. You come across good, and just be who you are. And people will either like you or they won't. And it just has seemed to develop and morph into something to where people really feel like I connect with them authentically. And I'm just being me. I'm just being who I am every single day. I'm just putting it on a video screen and sending it out to them. And I think customers can see that genuine, authentic, whatever you want to call it. I know there's lots of buzzwords out there today, but I'm just being real.
I love it. And I pulled an example. I went into your account and I want to show everyone that you were talking about exactly what your videos are like. So we're going to play this. It's only about a 17-second clip. It's the full video, but this is a video that Kenny did just to follow up with someone that he had been talking to on the phone. So we're going to go ahead and play that, and then we'll talk a little bit about kind of that process, what you're doing. We'll go ahead and roll that.
Hey Greg and Sherry, it's Kenny over at Toyota Bowling Green. Hey, I just want to thank you so much for your business. I really, really appreciate you. You guys have a great vacation, and I'll see you when you get back. We'll go over some of the things on the car. I'll go ahead and get those extra items put on your car, and we'll talk soon. Thanks, bye.
All right, so as you can see, this is someone that was just getting ready to go on vacation. You were taking care of some of the extra details on their vehicle. You may not even remember this video because when I went into your account, you had over 1,100 videos that you've recorded and sent out in just the last 2 years. So tell us a little bit about, everyone's curious about your process for recording. What are you using? Are you using a cell phone, your desktop? Do you have any other extra gear? How do you record and send out these videos?
Jason, I'm a real simple guy. I use the BombBomb app on the phone, and that's all I use when I send out my videos. It's quick. It's easy. They're uploaded quickly. I can text them, and there's no special equipment needed. This start-stop feature that you guys started, I mean, is incredible. It's incredible to be able to stop and end up at another place in the video. So no special equipment, just my little iPhone 6s Plus.
Okay. And then when you record from the computer, are you using just a webcam? Do you do any kind of follow-up from your computer? Or do you do it all from
I do it all from a mobile device. Actually, Jason, I don't do anything from the computer. I do it all from a mobile.
Okay. That's awesome. So anyone that's watching, if you're engaging and you're thinking through that process of whether you just got started or you're doing a lot of video, sometimes it's just you got to go back to the basics and remember that this thing that we carry around with us day in and day out is the best possible tool that you have to record and send out your videos. Bunch of you just popped on. Thanks for joining us on the BombCast. Jason here with my guest, Kinny Landrum, automotive sales professional and Bowling Green. We're talking through process, lead conversion, follow-up, repeat referral business. If you have questions for Kinny, drop it in the comments. The team and I are monitoring that. Would love to ask him that on your behalf. So, Kinny, I'm curious kind of as you think about the conversion process, right? You get these leads that are coming in, you're following up with them. And for a lot of our audience, it doesn't matter the industry that you're in, handling online leads is kind of a difficult thing sometimes. Tell me a little bit about how often are you reaching out to people before you get a response? Meaning, are you sending 3 videos, 4 videos, other types of communication to get that response from them?
So let me be a little transparent here, if that's okay. Because I'm in the dealership every day. I'm a salesperson on the floor every single day. And, there's lots of things that are going on all throughout the day. My process is really not all that revolutionary. A customer comes in, they look at a car, they don't buy a car, I send them a video. Previous customers, like I said, if their birthday's coming up, I'll send them a video. Orphan customers, I'll send them a video. I don't get online leads and things of that nature. So everything is, pretty much either generated on a lot or generated from repeat and referral. And when customers see that you're doing a lot of these things after the sale, or even when you're trying to earn their business, it just, it leaves a indelible mark in their mind of, golly, that guy up the road that I talked to about that other vehicle at that other dealership didn't do this. Wow, this guy's really a professional. So let me go back and talk to him, potentially, or what have you.
Right. It's that differentiator, right? I mean, when you're dealing with a product like a vehicle that people probably have access to multiple different ways, right? Whether they're going to go find it online, they're going to go to a private dealer, or they're going to go to another dealership. Ultimately, it's that relationship that you build with them that decides whether or not they're going to purchase the vehicle from you or not. So that's kind of that key piece is the video becomes one of your key differentiators above and beyond all the service and all the amazing things you're doing for people. But video is your key way of communicating that.
It is my key way of communicating that to customers. And, customers aren't used to getting a video. They're used to getting maybe just a text or a phone call. And you know how everybody, when they get a phone call, it's like, oh man, it's that guy again.
Right.
But when you send a video, they don't have to interact with it. They just have to watch you and see you. So they're not compelled to make a response or have to say, yeah, I'm still looking for a car. So they're in their own environment and it's easy, it's easy for them and they're not apprehensive because, buying a car is not necessarily for customers out there the easiest process, for them. It's, some people say I'd rather go get a root canal than go look for a car. So when I can use a video to help my customer relax, and not feel put on the spot, it's just a great thing.
That's huge. And for everyone watching, I think that's a key takeaway. As again, doesn't matter whether you're selling homes or cars or product, it doesn't ultimately matter, there is sometimes that pressure that can be applied to the sales process. And when you can just kind of turn the volume down a little bit on that and become that consultative person and let video become that process where you're not pressuring them into a decision, but you're there to help them and support them through the process, that becomes a key differentiator to whether someone's going to do business with you or not. Kyle Wood just popped a question in talking about internet leads. And I know you mentioned, Kenny, you're not doing a lot of internet lead follow-up. But when you think about your connection points, do you tend to call first or do you video first in your process?
So that's a real good question, Kyle. Thanks for asking. So once again, I'm not in the internet department, so I really don't take internet leads. But let me liken it to getting a phone call. Okay. So when you get a phone call, cool, and you kind of go through that process with them on the phone, answering those questions, things of that nature. Customers like, okay, good. And, I always make sure I ask if I can text a customer. You give me permission to text you. I said, they typically in most cases say, yes, I want to make sure that I get you my information so you can put it in your cell phone so you can have a direct link back to me. And that text ends up becoming a video text.
Gotcha. So then you're recording that inside of BombBomb, sending it to them, texting them that process?
Yes, absolutely. With the iPhone, you can go into the app and you can actually go ahead and save the video to the library and then use the little, way you send it, and it actually sends the actual moving video through there and not necessarily just a link.
Right. That's brilliant. Anyone that's watching, if you want more information on how to do that, we'll have the team drop some links in. If you're listening to this later, we'll share some kind of support articles on how you can use texting and video. It's a really cool feature that is built inside of BombBomb. And like Kenny said, you can have kind of evergreen videos, meaning you've recorded it once and you can use it over and over and over within your text messaging system. It really kind of helps scale that process and make you more efficient. Now, one of the things that we were talking about as we were kind of connecting about the BombCast and kind of thinking through some things that you were sharing was how important a process is for helping you stay consistent with video. And you were saying kind of your process changed a little bit in January, and you found that sending video hasn't been as easy. Tell me a little bit about kind of what that's been like for you.
Yeah, so again, being a little vulnerable here, we have a customer relations management tool that kind of tells us when birthdays come up, when leases are expiring and things of that nature. That was my cue to sending, these video emails or texting these videos. And what I found is once I didn't have that prompting of, hey, this is coming up, I kind of slacked off on my sending out my videos. So here, actually, a couple of weeks ago, I posted something on Facebook in one of our groups and saying, you know what, I've really slacked off on these video emails, and I really need to figure out my process, my internal process, to make sure that I do this on a consistent basis. So it's a challenge, Jason.
And that's what I wanted to bring up, and that's why, and for everyone watching, because I do think sometimes it's just important to hear from a community of people that care about video, that are invested in video, that no matter whether or not you sent 1,200 videos through your system or you've sent just 2, if you don't have the process, and if you're not taking the time to invest into that, it's easy to let it kind of fall to the wayside. And it's kind of like going to the gym, I think is the best way to think about it, right? You can be paying to go to the gym all you want, but until you actually show up, you're not going to see the results of going to the gym. And I think video is very similar, whether you're using BombBomb or not. It's something you have to build a process around, because if you don't, it's not just going to happen. And I think sometimes that's the myth that's out there for a lot of people that see others that are using video, or they think, oh my gosh, that must just be so natural for them. It's not natural for any of us. You got to build a system and you got to build a process. And when those things go away, it's easy for it to kind of fall out of your process.
It really is. And, one of the good things about, even though that it has kind of, once again, fallen out of the daily process of making sure that I do it every day. I do it all the time. And the times that I do it, it creates conversions, and I'm selling cars from it, you know.
Right.
And that's the whole point.
What was that? Sorry.
I said, I think that's the whole point, is to connect with your customers and sell cars. And it's so worth it to me to continue, doing video email. I'm selling cars all the time from it. So
tell me, and that's, I want to ask about kind of how are you measuring success? Are you paying attention to opens and plays? Is that part of your process, or are you just sending? Tell me a little bit about how you measure kind of some of those analytics, because I think people are always very curious about what are the right things to be measuring, and what are you paying attention to?
Jason, that is a good question. I really don't measure a whole lot. I send and I send and I send. And when people respond, I know that what I'm doing is effective. So I don't get into the analytics of it all. You have those guys that get into the data of this, that, and the other. But you know what I do, Jason? I send video email. I text video email, and I get it out there. And the more people you talk to, the more cars you're going to sell. The more video emails you send, the more connections you're going to make, and the more people are going to come back.
All right, so let me ask you this question. Everyone's always curious about subject lines. What's getting engagement? What do you do around subject lines? Do you just make it as personal as possible? Do you have the typical kind of subject lines? Like, what do you put in that subject line that's going to get somebody to open up that email?
All right, Jason. So here's a telltale. Most of my videos are sent via text.
Okay. So you're texting it.
Yeah, most of my videos are sent via text.
And so you're getting a better engagement through text over email.
I get a better engagement via text versus email a lot of times. However, let's keep in mind, for that follow-up process for that customer that bought a car today, and that 6 months down the line, it's better to send them, in my opinion, an email. Hey, Kenny, reaching out to you. Just want to let you know, I appreciate your business. Is it time to come back in for service? Subject lines, I haven't really paid a whole lot of attention to, Jason. So I can't really speak to that.
No, that's great, though. In case for anyone that's watching, drop a comment in. Are you starting to do more texting videos through versus sending out emails? Be curious to kind of get a sense of where everyone's at. If you're just joining us, welcome to the BombCast. Having a fantastic conversation with Kinny Landrum about how he's using video in his business to get in front of customers, how he's using texting as a key way to communicate and build those relationships to make sure that they're continuing on. Tell me about that person that you haven't talked to in 6 months. What kind of follow-up do you do with them besides birthdays? Do you do anything else that's kind of fun, that makes it more memorable, or is it really just kind of the birthdays that you're focused on?
It's not just the birthdays, it's service. Because I think more important than selling you a car, and I have to sell you a car to make money, is what happens after the sale. So 6 months or 5,000 miles, it's time to come in for service. I'm reaching out to my customers via video email or video text and saying, hey, is it time for your service appointment? Do I need to go ahead and make that service appointment for you? I can go ahead and do that for you. I don't leave it, just up to the other department, because I want to be that guy. I want to be that memorable guy. So with current customers, that's the follow-up process, is service, service.
That's good. That's good. Got some good comments coming in. Tony's in the same boat with you. He's doing the majority of his stuff through text. Bob just had a good question about snippets and texting videos. So for anyone that's watching, that's a BombBomb customer or not, just quickly get into this to answer Bob's question. So snippets is pre-created text that is part of our system. So you can write it out once and then add that in, and you can include a video or not. But our mobile app is built on not live video, but pre-recorded videos that you can send out. So if you want to live text somebody, you got to go in through the mobile app first, record your video, and then you have the option to text it out. Inside of iMessenger, there's kind of the app world, so kind of iMessenger apps, and BombBomb's one of the apps. And right inside of there, you have the ability to select any pre-recorded video. So there's a lot of sales professionals, like Kenny's mentioned, who will record those videos that you send out all of the time. You do it once, and then you can add that video inline to the text thread. You can add a snippet, that pre-written text that's in there to go with it or not, depending on kind of whatever you need to do. And that kind of helps create some efficiencies in that process. So hopefully, Bob, that lets us know, give you a little more detail. If not, we can follow up with you later, get you all the stuff that you need specific to what you're doing. Tony, hopefully that answers your question of the default text message instead of having to edit each one. Snippets would give you that default text so that you don't have to go in and spend that time and do that on that side of things. So great questions. Keep them coming. We got about another 5 minutes here before we will wrap things up with our time with Kenny. So thank you again, Kenny, just kind of for your insight, for your vulnerability, for sharing kind of your systems and your processes with us here. Can you kind of give me, as you think about kind of moving forward, right? And you kind of think about the future and what's next for you with video, what are some things that maybe you thought about, kind of new ways that you might be thinking about? Putting you on the spot. So if there's nothing, that's okay. But I'm always curious, kind of for people that are doing this, what are you thinking about? What are you thinking about kind of innovation-wise, types of videos that you want to be sending that maybe you currently aren't sending right now?
You know, innovation-wise, I really like to actually take more advantage of the drip campaigns and automation to have those pre-recorded videos that go out to your customers at a set time. I haven't dived into automation, but I think that would be a great next step for me to dive into automation. So I am just on a continual basis keeping up with those customers that I have sold, because it can get overwhelming. And it can get overwhelming when it's like, oh man, I need to, maybe call all these people or video email these people about service. And I'm pretty sure there's a percentage of those that I just don't even get to.
Yeah.
Because you have so many customers.
Right.
So automation drip campaigns, I think is something that I really kind of want to, get into. I just like I like video email, and I like doing it on the spot because it's just so when people call you, they can see that it's raining outside and you go outside in the rain and you're making this video in the rain of this car. They know that you're doing it right then. And just something to be said about that.
And I think too, the thing that's interesting and sometimes maybe forgotten about this, and we've had other guests in the past kind of bring this up. Elise Archer comes to mind. If you missed that BombCast, go back and watch that one for everybody that's watching, or download the podcast. But she was talking a lot about how video is a service, right? That this isn't narcissistic. This isn't, hey, look at how awesome I am, or look what I'm doing. Sure, that kind of stuff is happening. But really, where the secret sauce lies is when you begin leveraging video to provide value to people and you provide a service to them. And so as you're saying, when you're out in the rain and you're showing this car off, or you're just simply saying happy birthday, it's not about you in that moment. It's about the person that you're communicating with. And it's that kind of value that really does make it more memorable, that allows you to build stronger relationships. And people remember, Kenny's my guy at the dealership. And when they're talking to their buddies or they're talking to their friends and they're saying, hey, I'm thinking about a car, who's going to come to mind, right? It's going to be you. So for anyone that's watching, be encouraged by that. Forget all the other junk that's out there when it comes to video that sometimes can be a distraction. Just provide a service. And when you do that, you're going to win with video every single time. Is that the big takeaway that you think you found, Kenny?
That is, and that I agree with that wholeheartedly. Just, get out there, connect with people, say, hey, if they're asking about something, tell them about it. They want to see you. They want to know who they're talking to on the other end of that phone, and who they're going to be working with. So it's just an easy way to communicate and get it, just see people, connect with people. I mean, it's great.
Well, and that's the goal of BombBomb, right? Our goal at the end of the day is to rehumanize digital communication. That is why we exist. That's why we do what we do. That's why we do the BombCast. That's why we do all of this. It's because we want to help everyone out there get back in front of people, because when you do, you will build stronger relationships. You will convert more leads. you'll get more repeat and referral business. So thank you, Kenny, for your time. We're at the bottom of the hour here. If anyone has any other questions, please drop them in. We'll hang out if a few come on. So thank you guys for your time and attention, for being a part of the BombCast. We will continue to be doing this week in and week out, telling other stories, continue to provide more inspiration, more insight, more value on how you can be adding video into your business. If you have ideas of things that you would like to see in the future, drop them in the comments, leave it on our Facebook page. We're paying attention. We're listening to the things that you guys want to be hearing about. We'll go get the guests that you want to talk to or hear from and bring them on the BombCast in the future. So any final advice, wisdom that you would share with everyone, Kenny, before we sign off?
Just do it. Just do it. Just do video email. And I tell you, it will reap rewards for you.
Awesome. Awesome. I love it. Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you for your time and attention. Next week, we're going to be coming to you on Wednesday. I know we're changing the days up, but this one we had to change up because we've got a mortgage professional that we're going to be going and interviewing live in Denver. He's not from Denver, but he's flying through. We're able to connect. He's doing some fascinating things about his social presence, how he's increasing his exposure, his presence through video, and we're excited to bring you Adam's story. He's just in the beginning of his process. And so Adam is someone we're actually going to be following for the next 9 months on the BombCast, letting you see kind of behind the curtain all of the things that he's doing, giving it away so you guys can be applying the same things, and then letting you know the wins and losses that he has along his journey. So we're excited. We'll be coming to you live from Denver next Wednesday at 2:00 Eastern, 11 Pacific. So thank you, everyone, for your time and attention, for being on the BombCast. Thank you, Kenny, for being an incredible guest, bringing great insight. Comments are rolling in saying that they've loved everything that you've had to share. You did a great job. So thank you, guys. We'll see everyone later.